When Julius Malema accused KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi of being a celebrity cop and a political puppet, the backlash was swift, but none more striking than from his former ally, Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. In this segment, we unpack Ndlozi's public condemnation of Malema's remarks, the deeper tensions within the EFF, and what this rupture reveals about the party's internal fractures and its stance on law enforcement accountability. Ndlozi's rebuke wasn't just about one comment, it was a line in the sand. As South Africa grapples with rising crime and political polarization, the question remains, can the EFF survive its own contradictions? Let's listen to Julius Malema flip-flopping about Mkhwanazi. This is what ignited Mbuyiseni Ndlozi to speak out, telling Julius where to get off. Drop your thoughts below. Support investigative storytelling through Super Thanks, and stay tuned as Skybriegde continues to spotlight the voices challenging power from within.
Junior you are, and you want us to participate in a committee like this that has been juniorized. There is some senior committee called a commission. We're being juniorized. You have turned this committee into a toothless body. It is going to be the most useless body. I'm not even sure if some of us can continue participating in such a committee that agrees on something and do something else. Mkhwanazi, subpoena does not mean Mkhwanazi is wrong. If you don't know English, it's none of my problems. It's none of my baby to feed Malta Bella. Mkhwanazi must be subpoenaed because what Mkhwanazi said is important and cannot be postponed for a day. It's very urgent. But all of a sudden, even if Mkhwanazi becomes the last, that's fine. We can look at other people. Why? Because you don't want the truth. And you create an impression that you want the truth. You don't want the truth. I am here to seek the truth. That's why I'm saying Mkhwanazi must be subpoenaed. Mkhwanazi must come. We have nothing to do with the commission. We can never use a material of the commission in our committee. Mkhwanazi must write an affidavit directed to our chairperson, and that becomes a document of our committee. That's how junior you are. And you want us to participate in a committee like this that has been juniorized. There is some senior committee called a commission. We're being juniorized. You have turned this committee into a toothless body. It is going to be the most useless body. I'm not even sure if some of us can continue participating in such a committee that agrees on something and do something else. Mkhwanazi, subpoena does not mean Mkhwanazi is wrong. If you don't know English, it's none of my problems. It's none of my baby to feed Malta Bella. Mkhwanazi must be subpoenaed because what Mkhwanazi said is important and cannot be postponed for a day. It's very urgent. But all of a sudden, even if Mkhwanazi becomes the last, that's fine. We can look at other people. Why? Because you don't want the truth. And you create an impression that you want the truth. You don't want the truth. I am here to seek the truth. That's why I'm saying Mkhwanazi must be subpoenaed. Mkhwanazi must come. We have nothing to do with the commission. We can never use a material of the commission in our committee. Mkhwanazi must write an affidavit directed to our chairperson, and that becomes a document of our committee. Any other thing is a hearsay. We don't want that. We want that which has been said to us by Mkhwanazi and the rest of them. I don't know what you're doing with Deputy Minister Cyril. To show that you want to make this thing useless, you have put in deputy ministers with no powers. I don't know what they're going to tell you. I don't know what you want to get from those people. You are getting deputy ministers because you want to render this committee useless. That's what you're doing. And we don't agree with any of the proposals. We don't change any terms of reference. We want Mkhwanazi as number one. If you can't get him through lovey-dovey approach, subpoena him. We are not doing anything outside the terms of reference. And then how can a person who started the allegations be the last one to testify? What are you going to use? With due respect, Honorable Bredenbach, we cannot use what has been said on TV. We cannot use that. We can use what is in the affidavit, and that affidavit must have an oath. So Who are you going to question based on what? What is before you? We need something before us. And the person who can give that is Mkhwanazi. He has to come. Even if it means stopping half the way to go and appear into the commission, finish, come back, that's fine. But he has to come to us. Without Mkhwanazi, we are toothless, we are useless, we don't know what we're talking about. Someone is alleging here. You go and ask someone else, or Baru, you did 1, 2, 3. Or go and ask the person who said I did that and give you a proof. They say Sibia has stolen or taken the dockets. That's one of the allegations. Of course, we know the dockets have been returned or whatever the case might be. We are going to go to Sibia and say to Sibia, where are the dockets? I never took any dockets. Don't know, what do you mean? He says, go to the person who says I stole the dockets to give you evidence that I took the dockets. It doesn't work like that. As an advocate, Honorable Bredenbach, you know that. It doesn't work like that. There has to be a person who makes the allegations. We have to test the allegation. We have to test the evidence of the allegations. On the basis of that, summon people, because we now have something that gives us at least a prima facie to can engage these people. I rest my case. I don't understand why would someone say the commission has already subpoenaed General Mkhwanazi, therefore we can't subpoena. We must not subpoena because it's undesirable, but it's desirable for other people to subpoena. It's irrational, it's unreasonable. So the reality is that, and I'm doing this deliberately because I know you are scared for Mkhwanazi to come and appear before that committee. And if it was of your own making, Mkhwanazi was not going to appear before that committee. So you are playing with the public, you established a committee, creating an impression that you are doing something when you are doing nothing. You are busy over nothing. So the reality of the situation is that you don't want Mkhwanazi. And even when that time comes, you are going to start other excuses. There is nothing that stops Mkhwanazi from coming to us. You have now created an impression that this commission is bigger than us. And we as parliament must be going to the commission. The commission people never say, let's go to parliament to hear what that parliament is saying. But because you are scared, you feel so inferior, you don't know what you are doing. You want to be checking with the commission because you can't stand on your own. So we maintain that Mkhwanazi must be subpoenaed. And a person who doesn't appear before your committee won't say to you, I want to appear before your committee, hey, and I'm defying. Where have you ever had that? They are going to give you all manner of reasons. And one of the reasons is the reason we're given. No, I'm busy with these other people. A person postpones you without a date of a commission and agree to appear to a commission which does not have a date. It only announced the date a few days ago. And you accept that as being reasonable. And you accept that as not something that you can subpoena on. I know you don't want to subpoena because you don't want General Mkhwanazi to appear before the committee. When I spoke in this committee last week, they were saying, yeah, why is he attacking Mkhwanazi? He's hiding something. I'm not hiding something. That's why I'm saying Mkhwanazi come. Even if he comes tomorrow, we want him to come. The South Africans must decide whether they want Mkhwanazi to come before the committee or not. It can't be when we're trying to get Mkhwanazi as soon as possible to appear before this committee. It means we're hiding something. That is the highest form of stupidity, Chair. We'll be bound by the decision of the majority.